I got a story for y'all today that hate speech. That's his handle. I watch a show called most of y'all in here probably know, but if you've never watched James Hake on the Hake Report, it's a good show and he tells the truth. Some people get butthurt about it, but he's always truthful. And they might not like what he's saying, but I ain't never heard no boy say that wrong. Well, anyhow, he's got a chat room and several of us regulars go in there and talk about different things or about the stories that he has going on. And old hate speech was in there, and he asked me. He said, Skip, have you seen that story about the police officer shooting that man in the back 9 times? And in Arizona, and I told him I hadn't, but I'd check it out and see what it's all about, and decided I'd make a story on it because it's a bad story. I just don't understand what happened. But look here, I'm gonna show y'all the footage, and I'll be back in just a few minutes, a couple of minutes, and gonna talk about it a little bit and try to make some sense out of it. All right, be right back. All right.
But first tonight, controversy and anger in southern Arizona after an off-duty Tucson police officer shot a knife-wielding man in the back 9 times, killing him while he was on a motorized scooter.
The city has now started the process of firing that officer, and the mayor called his actions indefensible and unconscionable. But now the police union is speaking out, raising questions about that shooting and pushing back against Mayor Regina Romero. So reporter David Caltabiano joins us live with more.
Hey, Javier, the Tucson Police Union's attorney says the mayor is making inflammatory comments and tainting the legal process for officer-involved shooting investigations. The mayor tonight had her own words saying police unions are not the arbiter of truth and that the video speaks for itself.
Just shoplifted right in front of me, pulled a knife on me.
This video shows off-duty Tucson police officer Ryan Remington following a man in a motorized scooter who allegedly stole a toolbox from a nearby Walmart. The store employee and the officer asked Richard Lee Richards for a receipt. Instead, Richards allegedly pulled a knife.
Go to the store, sir.
The situation turned deadly when Richards tried entering a Lowe's, with Officer Remington firing 9 shots into Richards' back, killing him.
This is a guy who's level-headed and did not want to be in this situation. Trust me, when he woke up that morning, you know. So any of those Walmart employees will have nothing but great things to say about him.
Mike Story is the attorney for the Tucson Police Officer Association. He says the full video was not shared with the public, and key accounts of that night were also not released.
And this individual, what you don't know, was saying things that would indicate suicide by cop. He literally was saying things like, this is not going to end well. You people have taken everything from me in my life, and the only way you're going to get this gun, this knife out of my hands is to shoot me. Those are the statements that were not shared with you.
Jesse Torres is a retired law enforcement officer who has testified as an expert witness on policy and procedure. He says Remington could have tried to stop the wheelchair with an object or use his taser or baton. Torres doesn't believe the gun should have ever been drawn.
If he felt in fear for his life, it was initially when the gentleman supposedly pulled out a knife and threatened him with it. But that, you cannot walk several hundred yards and say, I'm still in fear for my life.
However, Story says there are reports that Richards was not bound to the motorized scooter and could have been using it for convenience instead.
How many times have we been in Costco? We see people scooting around, and we know they can walk. So how does he know this guy can't jump out of this scooter and all of a sudden charge somebody with this knife?
The process to fire Remington could be completed as soon as next week. The union's attorney says they will appeal if that happens. Meanwhile, Mayor Romero is urging the city to be calm and patient as the investigation continues. Yetta.
David, thank you.
Remind me to never want to move to Tucson, Arizona. That just didn't make no sense. Y'all saw it. And old buddy, yeah, he was in a motor scooter. And so what? If he stole that if he stole that toolbox at Walmart, you know, there was better ways of finding out, to doing what they did. Now, the off-duty cop, I never saw in that video one time that he was in fear of his life. They said old buddy pulled a knife on him. Well, yeah, if he pulled a knife on him, he was in that wheelchair. He should have shot him when he pulled that knife on him if he was in fear of his life. Which I wouldn't have agreed with that either. But there were several things that he could have done instead of shooting that man in the back 9 times. He could have got in front of him in that wheelchair and pushed something in his way where he couldn't go no further. He could have stopped his progress. Kept him from going in the store. He could have did anything but shoot the man 9 times in the back. That's just not right. And I've always been for the police force. I've always been pro police department, because it's like this: if we didn't have the police, and all of them are not good now, I know that, and I've met some that ain't worth a damn. I'd be the first one to admit to that. But I've met a lot of good ones too, and my hat's off to them for the ones that get out there and do the right thing. But if we didn't have the police force, it would be anarchy. It would be total anarchy. Look right now how they're talking about defunding the police, and boy, they going buck ass wild now, especially you blacks. They going on shopping sprees and stealing thousands and thousands of dollars at one time. 10 or 12 of them running there. These high-end stores in Beverly Hills, they're doing it in Chicago. I'm seeing stores where they're doing it everywhere. And they're stealing thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Without the police, look, I just put it this way: we've got to have the police, but we do have to have good ones. And I hope this guy is found guilty. He should be found guilty, and something bad happened to him. As far as his charge goes, and the way they sentence him. I think he should get life. I think he should get the death penalty myself. That's just me now. Say I'm wrong, but hey, that's just me. Look here, that lawyer for the police union or whatever, he needs to be drugged behind a truck or something in the parking lot. And they need to fire him. I always said, what do you call a million lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. I ain't really ever met a good one. I've known some personally. And on a personal line, they all right. I get along with them all right, but I don't know. That's got to be one of the most evil professions I ever seen in my life. They say justice, and they got that woman up there with the scales, justice. But yeah, I always heard too that the DA and the lawyers and the judge, it's just us. That's all that matters. And they go in the back room and they make these decisions. And sometimes they'll go out there and put on an act for you like they have a trial. But hell, they already made their mind up. Now they know what's going on. But for that attorney for the police union trying to defend, the actions of that officer, that's just, just don't make no sense. Don't make a lick of sense at all. What was that he said? Oh, y'all didn't hear the things that he said. If the only way you're gonna get me to stop is some kind of crap, and for the receipt for the toolbox, you're gonna have to shoot me and kill me. Oh, he wanted death by suicide by a cop. Well, does that mean the cop should have done it? No. That just means the man, he was pretty shot out to begin with. And I've been in an old wheelchair a good while now. Which I ain't never wanted to steal nothing. But I don't know how in the world he tried to get a toolbox out of their Walmart without getting caught anyhow. So the guy was mental health to begin with. But just because he made some statements like that, oh, y'all gonna have to shoot me. Come on, man. This is a guy in a wheelchair, a motor scooter. And he didn't look like he was causing no threat. If he did want death by suicide, that doesn't mean that officer off-duty cop had the right to do that, So got an attorney. He was wrong. He's just trying to defend the cop. And then they made the comment about well, haven't you ever seen people in Walmart in them electric carts that don't need to be in them carts? Well, hell, I'll tell you what. Even before I got in this wheelchair, there's been a time or two I'd go to Walmart and I'd see one sitting over there, and just for the heck of it, I'd get in there and I'd ride that rascal around in Walmart. It's kind of fun, you know. But no, that man wasn't making no threat. He wasn't going to jump out. I didn't see it anyhow. Well, he was going to jump out and could have been a threat to hurt him or anybody else. But it's just a shame that we got all this craziness going on in the world. And like I say, I respect the police department. I respect the law. I'll put it that way. And I do think we need officers out there, and we don't need to be trying to defund the police. Because look, was it Philadelphia? I can't say it right, but Philly. Uh, they've already reached the 500 number in murders, and that's since 30 years ago since it's been 500 people shot, and we still got a whole month to go. And I'm seeing story after story every day, every single day about people getting killed up there. But there's one more thing I kind of want to bring up and get y'all's opinion on. And like I say, I always tell y'all, leave me something in the comments, and if you agree, good. If you don't, that's good too. I don't try to make you agree with me. If you see it a different way, hey, leave me a comment. Let me look at it. Maybe I see something that or saying something I shouldn't be saying, and I was wrong. Which yourself if you watch my videos. I ain't wrong very often. I don't think I've been wrong on none of my videos yet. But anyhow, I looked up this story after hate speech told me about it, and I only found like that was a local news station, and I think ABC or one of them Sunday shows, not Sunday show, but because it's only happened a couple of days ago, but one of the national news, I saw a report they did on it, and I seen a few newspapers doing stories on it, but that was it really. Now let me ask y'all this, all right? If that would have been a black man in that wheelchair, and the police would have shot him 9 times in the back, and you can clearly see what happened. If that was a black man, shoot, cities would be on fire right now. I mean, they would be burning up, stealing tennis shoes. Hell, they'd be stealing turkey legs and everything else. I mean, if the shoe was on a different foot and that was a black man, it'd be all over the news. We'd be hearing about it. We'd be hearing about cities burning down. We'd be hearing about the bad white man, the bad police. But we're not hearing that about this story. It's a white man. Oh, Skip, you're just being prejudiced. What's that word? I can't even think of. Well, besides prejudice, hell, I can't think of. But you know what they call us, white folks, when when we say something about the blacks, they always got to say, well, racist is one of them. But anyhow, if it was a black man, don't y'all think it would have been different? Don't you think we'd have been hearing a lot more about it? Black Lives Matter would have been out there. Oh, Lord, Antifa. Oh, it'd have been a mess. It really would have. But anyhow, y'all leave me something in the comments to let me know what y'all think about it. And if you think it would have been different if it was a black man instead of a white man, let me know what you think about that. And again, I'm going to give a shout out to Hate Speech, for turning me on to this story. And I always tell y'all, if y'all got something, y'all want me to check out and see if it's newsworthy or report on it, let me know in the comments. And I love to find stories, and it's not just black and white stories. It's not just flaming homosexual stories. This is a story about a bad cop, and he needs to be held accountable. They fired him from his job, but for that attorney to stand up and look in the camera and say that, that cop wasn't wrong, hey, that wasn't right at all. Well, look here. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that like button, share it with your family and friends, And if you hadn't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right. All right. Talk to y'all later.